Hi, we are Granada from Argentina. My name is Marcos, I'm the drummer of the band.
I am Guille, a singer and guitarist.
Hello everyone, I'm Victor Augusto, the Brazilian reviewer of Argentine Metal. How are you? I hope you are good and safe at home, and how long we haven't seen each other. The last time it was in December of the last year with my Scars interview. By the way, thanks a lot for everyone who liked that interview or left a comment there. It's very important for us on Argentine Metal. And today I have a band from Argentina, a band called Granada. Granada is a hardcore crust and heavy metal band that has been on the road for 13 years. The band is a very experienced band because they already toured in countries like Colombia, Uruguay, Mexico, and Chile. The band released the albums Toca Metal Cagón, Histórias, Apocalyptic Metal, Prisionego, Sincronizado, and Amarre. Amarre gets all angry from South America because people who live in South America, despite they have a lot of cultural richness, we also have a lot of misfortunes. We are like cursed by poverty, corruption, and many other kind of issues that reflects in our music. Amarre is composed by 5 tracks from who is living inside a dysfunctional family and witness many kind of abuse. It could be abuse inside a marriage or a woman that is suffering physical aggression by her husband, or even someone who wants to commit suicide after so many suffering inside a family. But the interesting thing here is that the band put videos for all songs, and all songs have that specific law in Argentina that make that kind of abuse a crime. The band also put a telephone number to denounce that kind of crime in Argentina. I talked with Guille Estévez, that is the guitarist and singer, also Marcos Edwards, the drummer, to talk about the concept of Amarre. Amarre means tie or tied. It means people that are chained or tied with emotional problems on bad relationship. It could be a dysfunctional family or abuse in marriage, even problems that make people want to commit suicide. Could you explain the main concept of Amarre?
Amarre is our latest album, has 5 songs and talks about the whole issue of abuse inside a family and society, that it's practically the same.
It's social relations between each other and the problems or weird stuff that start to conflict between the family members.
Yeah, and each song represents a character of abuse or a situation of control or an extreme situation. We try to put each song like an example of what different
each character, yes.
Different types of abuse.
Yes, different types of abuse and like psychological matters and stuff. Each song is a representation of the situation of that abuse and control.
We made one video for each song, so the whole Amarre thing shares with the ones that can see the music, not only listen to the music, also see the music.
Each video involves an issue that can be treated by a number you can call.
An emergency number.
An emergency number.
Argentina.
In Argentina you can call, and the video suggests this number for help. So if somebody sees and reflects in the video, can call these numbers and has an idea where to reach that help.
We want people not only to say, okay, Granada, new album, new songs. No, our goal is to, I think, help in a little way, not being only musicians or a band on, hey, look at me, we are the best, we are metal, and we are angry people that make music, violent music or aggressive music with topics, strong topics. The main thing is to communicate that metal it's also help. That's what we think about metal. It's not only music, it's a way of life. It's trying to help and trying to be united.
Try to wake up people as well. So that's the basics of the album.
Hello, everyone. I'm Joker, host of the Electric Circus radio show at MetalMessiahRadio.com. I'm here to talk with you about the band Granada, metal from Argentina, and their January 3rd, 2020 release of Amarre. Granada has recently released its new and sixth studio album entitled Amarre, recorded at Estudio El Attic in a classic way with an analog opening tape. Live and without editing, it was produced by the band and Patricio Claypool. It's so amazing how they did the short album with no deleted edits. Amarre is one of my favorite offerings of 2020, releases from 2020, and thanks to brother Victor Augusto for hooking me up with this band. I've been playing on my show for over a year now, so great stuff. Best of luck to you guys of Granada. Keep rocking and keep your thrash metal on.
Autoridad is about a father that put his authority over the family and acted like a dictator. There is a part of the lyric that you sing in Spanish: "You shut up when I look into your eyes, you'll be what I tell you, you are guilty." What could you tell us about this subject?
Autoridad is the number one, is the track that begins all the problem, that is the father figure.
It could be a mother figure as well. The song says father or mother when you hear the lyrics.
We try to represent that because in some families there's no father or mother, it's only two brothers or brother and sister, and someone has to play the role of father or authority. We're talking about parents that don't give the freedom of being themselves to their children.
Yeah. The mandates they give to their children, either by wanting the best for their children or simply by imposition. It's like wishes of the father, but they try to involve the children to be that wish. I don't know. No.
This character of control, this archetype that comes with us when we're born, of control, and I want the best for you and you're gonna do what I say because I am your father, and that's it. And there's no discussion.
The family roles that comes rolling from the ages. It's like this imposition of you have to be like this because I am your father. Autoridad.
Golpes has some lyrics that tells "until death do us apart" that we hear in marriage ceremony, but here is related to a woman waiting to die after suffering so much abuse in her marriage and feeling so powerless to react against it. On this video you put images of a happy marriage celebration, also a woman's body with bruises from her husband's physical abuse. Could you tell us about this song?
Golpes is the second track. It talks about marriage like an imposition, like a jail. It's like a jail, a commitment labeled for life and called marriage.
Yes, like an approval for society.
Like a trap, also a trap.
Yes, because on the background there is this golpes, it's beatings.
It's like the perfect jail because outside it's everything okay, everything happy, and we're happy. We must be happy. We must be the perfect couple. We must continue.
Yes, it's like a mandate.
A victim.
It's another mandate. It's another role of society that you have to keep to be in a certain level or to be in that person's own level. That it's like a tie. Again, it's another tie. It's another amarre.
Yeah, it's like the perfect excuse for abusers because it's like a camouflage for them.
Yes. And abused people also are tied to that situation because they don't have an escape, or maybe they like it that way unconsciously. They suffer, but they can't escape because they are trapped, because it's like a coming back in that situation. It's a very common issue.
Sometido is track number 3. It's a difficult. Every time we remember when we wrote that song and all that, it's suicide. The topic is suicide. It's another type of abuse, another type of victim that the abuser it's yourself sometimes.
Yes.
It's inspired by some friends that committed suicide, and very difficult situation because it's very easy to blame yourself when you have friends that commit suicide, because you say, okay, why didn't I was calling him or asking him no twice, 10 times, how are you, and really how are you. Sometimes you are so inside of your problems that you can see that
Someone is suffering.
is really suffering, and
Yeah.
people that commit suicide is not wearing a Nirvana t-shirt that's saying, I'm against, I don't know, industry, I'm sad,
No.
and a happy face. No, suicidal people don't say, hey, I'm gonna commit suicide.
No.
They just
They
do it.
They do it when they want to. So it's really another tie. It's another role. It's been
They do.
going through the ages. It's something that should be really issued.
And that's why I think that is the most important, not because the other issues are not important, but I think that there must be more information about suicide, depression, and auto-medication and all that. I think society it's trying, it's a result, society nowadays is a result of the mandatory happiness that you have to be happy. The same as marriage, and the same as it's my parent, he can beat me, he
Yes.
loves me.
You have to be satisfied with the life you live. You can't get away with it, and there is no time for crying or looking the other way. You have to be happy, and if not, I don't know.
So
that's
suicide sadly is like an escape door.
yes.
And we must learn to read the signs to prevent situations, extreme situations. So the whole album comes first with autoridad, golpes, suicide, that is sometido, and then castración, that is church, also camouflage, rattlesnakes,
Yes.
and amarre, that talks about the baby that knows everything and sees everything inside the mother, and then has to deal with the selfish, stupid animal that we are.
That it will become. And also this baby can become one of these characters from the album, or not, or fight that archetype.
This programming that is,
One of these mandates,
yeah,
to be the father, to be the mother, or
this code that is genetic code that can be installed in the kid since very little. So
inside the womb.
Right after the album's release, the entire world started to suffer all the pandemic situation, and many families were forced to stay locked at home, worried about their health, about their family, about their friends, and of course many kind of abuse silently increased inside that homes. I asked them if they already received any kind of message for their fans who suffered some kind of abuse and had their music as a way to stay strong.
this whole COVID situation, let's separate pandemic and all that stuff and all that conspiracy things and all that. That's another issue. Inside these nests of snakes and abusers, and I think it increased the violence in homes and the danger of staying home.
There's been an increase, surely, of abuse, of loneliness, and self-engagement.
And self-destruction also.
Yes. Families in the whole world are struggling. It's easy to look at the news and watch at the good news, but I'm sure the bad, really bad news don't reach the news and the daily media.
Yeah, stay home, brainwash, stay home, brainwash. So all the problems, all the real problems, and the fights and these rotten relations,
everything it's been delayed.
Became bigger. In Latin America, it grew alarming, like 39, 40% of increase of complaints and calls. Thanks to COVID and stay home, brainwash, I think these problems increased and violence increased. In Argentina, 39 or 40% of
abuse and
of complaints, calls, no?
Yes.
To emergency, and we are not counting the ones that can't call because there's no cell phone, because there's no internet, there's no Wi-Fi to complain. So
that's the real issue.
Yeah. So there's things that we want to see because we're trained to see, and things that we don't want to see, because if you really, I think it's people start to see reality and real problems. I think the world will
there are a lot of persons they are
become
not going to manage it.
Musically, the band plays a hardcore chorus, also a heavy metal, but for Amarre, the band recorded the entire album in a live way inside a studio. They recorded in just one take without edition, also without a bassist, because the band was playing live concert without a bassist before. I asked them how was the composition process for Amarre.
When we started writing the album, we talked and said, okay, we must do a heavy metal album. We don't care if it's groove, punk, crust, or whatever.
But it has to be metal.
We have to take those emotions and those abusers and those expressions into riffs and beats. That's the whole.
Yes, it's
point.
like a theatrical interpretation as well. Each song and the whole album it's been thought as a whole. There was no this track. Oh yes, I have an idea. From the first time, it was a whole
aggression riff situation,
yes.
And we recorded in the same order. We wrote the songs.
Yes.
So it was like we have to do something organic and real.
Yes, it has been rehearsed in the same order as well. It has been very organic. Yes.
We wanted to go back to roots and don't expect edition and Pro Tools and all that. That's why we chose open tape and spontaneous takes and not cutting and paste. Things that we made in other albums, but the album number 6 of the band, so we tried to do something really, really organic.
Because of the album was the real star in this scene, I think. We were not thinking in editing, oh yes, the sound, as we said before. The album was what we were focused.
Yeah, and the songs and the topic of each song, we knew that was golpes, that was autoridad or whatever. We knew that, and we knew that I had to write the songs, the lyrics, based on that effects.
Yes.
Real organic effects of riffs and beats and all that. And there's no bass in the album, and that was a choice. We spent like a year and a half without bass because we didn't felt like having another human.
No.
We were happy with the guys that we were on the band. We were Marcos and me, and then we changed the guitar player, and we said, okay, man, come here and build with us this monster, this family abusing monster.
Yes. So the whole issue was the album for the first time.
Yeah, the lyrics were thought for starting to to make demos. We recorded all like the old-fashioned way with the cell phone, air, and play, and then not to get like a demo and say, look, this is our new song. No, because we try every single rehearsal, we try to push it and make it more aggressive or not. It depends of the character of the song.
Hello, Rafael Almos here from Brazil, from Kamala, and I will talk about Granada, nuestros hermanos argentinos. And Granada released an amazing EP, powerful songs, and I think a wonderful idea was to release on YouTube with a full video, so you can visualize the lyrics, you can feel the heavy themes there. They are talking about a lot of stuff about abusion. So, and about the instrumental and the vocal parts reminds me a lot of Animal from Argentina too. De la Terra had a lot of melodic moments with groovy South American groovy sound, with metalcore, with Sepultura era on Chaos AD. So I really recommend you to listen Granada. It's amazing EP, amazing artwork and visual work on YouTube. So check out Granada, okay? Cheers!
Now, speaking as another South American citizen, at least in Brazil I see many bands just complaining about the musical industry, about the corruption, about many things, but they just stay complaining and also fighting against each other without doing something really important to help people here in Brazil. But Granada did an amazing work to help people in Argentina, and I asked them if they think they are a good example among all other Argentine bands.
I think selfishness is like another virus, older and conscious, that is killing human being, killing us. So we don't think about another bands or what Granada has better or what.
Yes, like a product. We are not thinking in product. We are thinking in music and in art. So that part, it's like we are not contemplating it.
Every single band has its own universe, rules, and missions. So for us, it's like you follow the industry or you follow yourself. And in the meantime, we don't know. We can't judge another band because they don't have an open tape album or whatever. We always trying to learn and trying to improve and play better. So that's very hard. So we don't have much time to think and compare. We try to go like a horse on fire,
Yes.
straight to the point, and that is metal. Let's play and enjoying that.
Yes, and we don't judge anyone. Either way, it's right for each one who choose it. So it's okay. If you want to look for popularity and money, it's okay as well as if you want music and art alone, it doesn't matter. It's the same for us.
For a long time, I think originality doesn't sell, and everyone tries to get in the front page and okay, you're similar to.
It's again a mandate.
It's like
It's a position.
game of life, and it's okay, but it's not our. We are like a self-destructive band because we are not repeating formulas or things that okay, that's a good song. What did I done with that song or what lyric or no? We are just enjoying being metalheads and
That's
play
about
metal, and because it's like for us like a way of life, and we are conscious that Metallica is Metallica, and all the industry has its period of glory and all that, and there's not going to happen again. I think that the explosion of like the 90s,
It's the same.
trend, it's not trend.
We are enjoying, so I don't know.
And we know that when you try to do something different and you bet or something that is not expected, always the first reaction is silence or not understanding, and that's not. You don't have bass player. You must have. Oh, you're pissing on Lemmy's grave and all that.
Yes.
It's our world. It's our universe. It's our way of express ourselves. That's freedom. Metal is freedom. Music is freedom.
Yes, it's funny to hear that persons don't like for you to simply don't have a bass player. It's really a small issue, but certain people were triggered. That's funny, but it's just like testing. Like we wanted to have no bass player because human relation didn't go.
But now we're.
But now we have a bass player again.
We're writing
Yes.
a new album. We have bass players, so it's all about human relationship. We don't play for playing for applauses and that's a good show and all that. We need to be sure and that we enjoy the human aspect of being a band. You must play because that. I think in bands it's not only how you play, it's how you feel playing. It's I'm not a fan of virtuosos.
Virtuosity.
Virtuosity. I'm a big fan of people who listens music and feels.
Yes.
Since the first time that I heard Granada, when I reviewed them back in 2017, I could realize that you are a very professional band. And for me, at least for me, my impression is that your music is even more remarkable because you are very professional than the bands that just play for fun. What do you think about it?
Thanks for noticing that we put everything we have, and we don't live Granada like in a job. It's like our music, our life too, but we have our own jobs and we don't expect to live.
With metal music, it's like we are condemned to it because it's not a condemnation. It's like we
Happily
enjoy
condemned.
it. Yes, but in the world we live in, you have to pay for stuff. So we have other jobs, but in the meantime, we can do a lot about it.
And it's a heavy cross to carry, and metal is for heavies, so
Yes, it's okay. So it's really
it comes with a passion and the happiness of playing and connecting each other when we float and rehearse.
My last question before we say goodbye. The title Amarre is also related to a voodoo to make people spiritually tied with you, even a slave of you. Sometimes it's a voodoo to make them have a better life. In Brazil, it is very common to see people who don't know so much knowledge wasting money to pay for this spiritual work. They believe that the spirits will help them to achieve what they want. Of course, it's fake from whom promised it. It's not even a religion. It's people who claim they have spiritual connections, but they are lying, similar as some liar shepherds from church. But when the spiritualism is the subject, it seems more attractive. In the end, poor people continue living in a terrible situation, blame God or the spirits for something they haven't achieved. How is the things in Argentina related to it?
So getting back to the album title Amarre, that it's like an esoteric work. We said he made you a trabajo, he made you a work, a job. Like I think every single country and type of culture has its own esoteric amarres or rituals. So in this case, it's not a tie between people. because when we write music and we play, we're not people, we are energy, and that's it. So this is not an amarre, a tie between the three guys that play the album. It's a tie between music, between those energies. Pato Claypole is the engineer of the
album.
And that's not an ego tie, ego amarre. It's more. It's a commitment. It's a tie with music. It's also like a talisman, like something that protects that energy, that music, not people involved, only people involved. It's like the photograph of that moment and those energies that trespass us, and then we put it in that open tape. That's why we made it that way, open tape, and not thinking about the song and the mix and all
the other stuff.
And in the end of the album, that's why the sound was like set, and then was like, okay, we press rec and we play, and that's it, and that's the sound. There's no trick,
no addition.
It's true that that it's a business, all around faith and necessity and people, and problems with the people, religion, politics, everything. It's a business. There's a lot of people that don't have the power to say, okay, let's go, let's move on. I don't know how to.
They are not confident.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix this problem. And there's a lot of people that abuse and use that necessity to make money or to only abuse power.
They know there are people that are weak. That's a reality.
So in the whole world, I think not only Latin America, I think the whole world, it's a big business based on faith and fear.
Fear is a real challenge these days. It's the real challenge, I think. Fear is...
Fight against fear, yeah.
It marks everything.
So here in Argentina we have a lot of superstitions, stories and things that we made like talismans and all that. And there's people that care about that, and there's a lot of people that don't care. So this album, I think, goes direct to the heart of people that experience situations, paranormal situations, or esoteric situations, or things that don't have an explanation. There are a lot of things that for me that are not real, but for him, yeah, he can believe and said, okay, I believe in the monster of Loch Ness, and
yes,
and that's it.
If that person believes it, it's faith. It's
based on fear. So if the fear is
well
enough, you can make a whole lot of money.
There is a book about that.
Thanks a lot, Guille and Marcos, for your time, and also thanks everyone who watched this interview so far. If you are enjoying, please push the like button, subscribe Ever Metal channel, and also, the most important, look for Granada in all social medias, talk with them, and try to hear their music because it's very interesting. It's a very professional band and a very experienced band. So, Guille and Marcos, please let your final words for a fan. See you next time, everyone. Bye bye.
Repercussions of the album and on the lyrics. Every radio we went, or friend, or Granada, a friend, family person, friend, and person that listens to the band and that's interested, or musician, or they all tell us the same, like
yes, they acknowledge the situation,
like mobilized.
Yes, they were mobilized.
Like, okay, man, that's really hard, because when I was a kid, I went to a church and my father told me to go to that church, and
something happened.
Yeah, brainwash. and my father was a kid, and all the situations and things that we opened people to share with us.
Yes.
And that's interesting because it's not only, hey guys, it sounds great, the album, and we're happy because all the things that they told us are about the lyrics, about the whole concept of the album, and not sound or
yes,
or,
the
okay,
groove,
you went,
wow, the
yeah,
riff.
yeah.
It's a little bit more. It's like a real stuff that we can share, and we can. It's like
Music.
Yes, real
Connection.
real music, real art. Really, that should be. So we are very happy with the result. There has been a how do you say, a feedback, a real feedback. It's
A scary feedback too, because there's some stories that
yes, it's not funny, so it's not like, oh yes, I really enjoyed to be abused. No.
and we hope that people understood that that claim of emergency numbers, call here if you're in abuse or you are thinking of suicide or something, because people that have real problems are not sharing all those problems everywhere. That's why there are problems and are inside,
Yes.
like rotten seeds or poison. So we hope that it helps. So thank you, Victor, for sharing our music and giving us a space.
Yeah.
We really appreciate these minutes of chat, virtual chat.
No, it's really a good time to share what we think about this album, and for you to share it to other people, it's even more. So.
It's like fuel for us when someone listens the album. Just listens the album and the music, and we're happy.
Yeah.
So thanks, Victor, again, and we're seeing each other in your work, in your reviews, and
We
in
hope.
our new music.
Yes, we hope for the best and see you around.